Alright, well, despite the odds of it happening, I still hope that this was a video that I'd end up not having to make. But, unfortunately, in a Senate vote this morning, Betsy Devos was confirmed by the Senate to be our Secretary of Education. This is particularly troubling because this individual, as it has become painfully obvious from most news outlets and most sources, and her Senate confirmation hearings, which I will link to the best ones in the description below, that this woman belongs nowhere near the Department of Education. She is a billionaire heiress who has never had any professional experience in the field of public education. She's never been a teacher or a college professor. She's never even gone to public school. Her kids have never even gone to public school. All private. Never had to deal with Pell Grants, never had to deal with student loans, nothing. She has literally no experience in any way dealing with our education system. And on top of that, she actually has a very extensive history, okay, and I will link to articles in the description, for trying to get rid of public education and public schools, and wants to privatize our education system. And to a certain extent, for the most part, has actually succeeded in her home state of Michigan. And if you look up that state and the schools in that state, her policies that she has pushed have gone over horribly. It's a disaster. That state has some of the lowest performance in schools in the country. And it's only getting worse. It's basically the Wild West out there. For-profit, non-profit charter schools can move in. She is actually on record as trying or supporting the city of Detroit entirely abolishing their public school district. And this is the person that's now in charge of our public schools. This is ridiculous. But moving on, let's go on a little more information about the vote. And here's what was interesting about this one. Democrats, I believe, actually pulled an all-nighter, stayed in the Senate chambers for 24 hours straight, trying to win over at least one other person. Because that's all it fell short by, was one vote. And that's how disliked and how much of a problem this woman is in her role. Is bad enough to the point there were actually already 2 Republicans who broke with the party and voted no. And then that led to a tie, a 50-50 tie, in which Mike Pence would step in as the basically as the tiebreaker, and guess which way he voted. And it just is absolutely infuriating to me. Like this person has particularly Betsy DeVos has sparked absolute just anger nationwide about the possibility of her being the Secretary of Education. Representatives and senators from both parties have been just absolutely inundated with phone calls and emails and protests everywhere speaking out against the appointment of this person, and they don't care. They just cram it through anyway. And I was watching the vote, there's some things about it too that really kind of stood out to me. Like, for instance, one of the things that really pissed me off was how GOP senators, whenever they got a chance to speak, would just constantly bitch about, oh, the Democrats are holding up confirmations, and saying, and specifically they said this, oh, when President Obama nominated a Secretary of Education, we confirmed him in 7 days. Well, see, here's the thing. Obama's Secretary of Education was actually qualified to be a Secretary of Education. They actually had a extensive background in education. They had not dedicated their lives and their immense wealth to destroying our education system like DeVos has. And that is why they were confirmed. That's why they're easy to confirm. Because they were the right person for the job. This person is not. And as always, in addition to that, it was always the same argument. Oh, well, this might be good because it gives students choice. It gives them choice of, parents can have a choice of where their kids go to school, and they can go to a good school. No, see, that's the thing. A choice is not a guarantee. I can choose. I have the choice to go. Like, I have the choice to go and buy a new, Corvette. I don't have the money to do it. I don't have the credit to do it. I have the choice to do it. It's the same here. It's like, oh, well, we'll give them choice. What about standards? Do we not want to give them standards? What about making it something that they can afford? I mean, honestly, on top of everything else, this is a person who wants to destroy our education system as we know it. Where are all the friggin' screeching, pearl-clutching, think of the children conservatives right now? Where are they at? Why are they silent? Did they get the schedule wrong? Did they forget this was happening today? It is just sickening. Now, there is one thing I will mention. Like I said, a couple of senators actually did cross the aisle and vote with every single Democrat against DeVos. And that was a Lisa Murkowski of Alaska and Susan Collins of ME. Crap, I forget what ME stands for. Michigan? Is it now? No. Can't be. Minnesota? No, I think that's MN. Anyway, Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski were two Republican senators that, in my opinion, that did the right thing. I recognized how bad the damage that she can inflict on our education system could be, and voted correctly. And that was it. Every other Republican senator voted for it. Everyone. And at this point, it's really, I know for a lot of people that were following this and were speaking out against DeVos, this may feel like a deep disappointment or a crushing blow, and it's not good. But there's really, what I take away from this, and the one thing I want to make sure to get across to anyone who will listen, all the people who've been calling their senators, calling these old partisan assholes, telling them, begging them to not do this, to not vote for this woman. Don't let up. Alright? Don't just accept the defeat and move on. Keep calling them. Keep those phone lines lighting up. Keep those email accounts jammed. And let them know that let them know in no uncertain terms that the fight to stop them and the things that they are doing is just getting started. You know, if you're senator, if you live in a state, and I will post the list of all the senators that voted for her confirmation in the description. If they voted for her, call them, email them. Make it clear that their days in office are numbered. And remind them that they were elected to serve the people, not their party and not their donors. And that we, the people, put them in office, and that we, the people, can and will kick them out. By the way, why not also give Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins a call? Thank them for their support and being on the right side of this. That's it. As always, links in the description. Like, comment, subscribe. See you next time.